Today I want to share with you something truly transformative. Something that may not change your life overnight, but it will definitely change the direction of your life. You see, mentally strong people are not born special. They are ordinary people who choose extraordinary habits. They choose discipline when others choose excuses. They choose peace when others choose reaction. And they choose growth when others choose comfort. And the beautiful thing is, any one of us can become that person. Mental strength is not a gift, it is a practice. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 habits mentally strong people do so that you too can build a mind that is calm, focused, resilient, and deeply powerful. My dear friends, mental strength is not measured by how loudly a person speaks or how boldly they act. It is measured in the quietest, smallest, most invisible moment, the moment between what happens to us and how we choose to respond. This is where true strength lives. Let me share something with you. Every single day, life gives us 2 options. Option 1, react. Quickly, emotionally, unconsciously. Option 2, respond. Wisely, calmly, intentionally. Most people choose the first because reacting is easy, it takes no effort. Someone insults you, you shout back, someone blocks your way, you get irritated, someone disagrees with you, you take it personally. This is the natural human tendency, but mentally strong people, they operate differently. They pause. Yes, just a simple pause, one conscious breath, one moment of awareness, and suddenly the entire situation shifts. You see, a reaction comes from emotion, but a response comes from wisdom. A reaction is instant, but a response is intentional. A reaction creates more problems, but a response creates solutions. A reaction is automatic, but a response is mindful. And this pause, this tiny space, is what transforms a normal person into a mentally strong person. Let me tell you a small story. Once, a monk was insulted by a man in the marketplace. The crowd expected the monk to shout back, defend himself, or argue. But the monk simply smiled. He didn't react. He didn't allow the man's words to enter his mind. Someone asked him later, "Why didn't you respond? Didn't his insult hurt you?" The monk replied, "If someone hands you a gift and you refuse to accept it, the gift still belongs to the giver. In the same way, if someone throws negativity at you and you don't accept it, the negativity stays with them." This is mental strength. And my dear friends, imagine how peaceful our lives would become if we stopped accepting every insult, every opinion, every negativity handed to us. Mentally strong people understand one simple truth. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every comment deserves energy. Not every argument deserves your peace. Not every situation deserves your stress. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is the wisest way to handle this?" Instead of fighting every battle, they choose their battles. Instead of raising their voice, they raise their understanding. Instead of reacting from emotion, they respond from clarity. And the most beautiful thing is this habit can change your entire life. You will fight less. You will feel lighter. Your relationships will improve. Your mind will calm down. Your decisions will become sharper. Your heart will feel more peaceful. Because when you stop reacting to everything, you start protecting your inner world. Mentally strong people know that peace is precious, and they refuse to hand that peace over to anyone. So my dear friends, next time someone tries to provoke you, next time life throws a challenge, next time emotions rise inside you, pause, just pause. And in that pause, choose not the reaction, but the response. That is where your mental strength begins, and that is where your inner transformation starts. My dear friends, protecting your peace is not a luxury, it is a responsibility. It is a duty you owe to yourself, because nobody else will guard your inner world the way you can. Mentally strong people understand this deeply. They know that the most valuable possession they have is not their wealth, not their success, not their status, but their peace of mind. And peace doesn't stay with you automatically, it slips away quietly. Unless you learn how to protect it, most people lose their peace over the smallest things. A rude comment ruins their mood. A delay frustrates them. Someone else's opinion shakes them. A minor disagreement takes over their mind for hours. But mentally strong people operate differently. They don't allow everything to disturb them. They don't give every situation the power to enter their heart. They don't hand their mind over to every problem. They protect their peace like a treasure locked in a safe because they know one truth. Anything that steals your peace steals your energy. Anything that steals your peace steals your clarity. And anything that steals your peace steals your happiness. So they make conscious choices every single day. They limit the noise around them. Not every phone call needs an instant answer. Not every message needs a reply. Not every argument needs participation. Not every invitation needs acceptance. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is simply, no, my peace is more important. Mentally strong people understand how expensive it is to let every negativity enter their mind. They choose their company wisely. They keep distance from people who constantly complain, gossip, or drain their energy. Not because they think they're better, but because they value their inner stability more than outer approval. You see, my friends, peace is not found somewhere outside. It is created inside. But the outside can disturb what you create inside if you allow it. That is why strong people are careful. They know that when they let negativity enter, it settles in their heart. And when it settles in their heart, it affects their thoughts. And when it affects their thoughts, it directs their actions. And when it directs their actions, it shapes their life. So they take responsibility for guarding the door of their mind. They ask themselves, will this conversation uplift me? Will this environment nourish my soul? Will this habit strengthen my clarity? Will this person bring positivity into my life? And if the answer is no, they don't hesitate to step away. Let me tell you something simple but profound. Peace grows in silence. Peace grows in stillness. Peace grows when you stop feeding the noise. So mentally strong people practice moments of quiet. They reflect, they breathe, they sit with themselves. They disconnect from the world so they can reconnect with their inner world. They learn that not every situation needs involvement. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. And not every person deserves emotional investment. Sometimes the best response is no response. Sometimes walking away is wiser than staying. Sometimes letting go is more courageous than holding on. And here is something truly beautiful. When you protect your peace, you begin to see life clearly. Your decisions improve. Your relationships deepen. Your mind becomes calm. Your creativity rises. Your heart becomes lighter. You start living, not reacting. You start choosing, not surviving. You start growing, not repeating old patterns. This is the secret mentally strong people live by. They treat their peace as a sacred space. They don't allow anyone to pollute it, and they don't apologize for protecting it. Because they understand one thing very clearly. A peaceful mind is a powerful mind. A peaceful heart is an unshakable heart. And a peaceful life is a fulfilled life. My dear friends, your peace is your responsibility. Protect it fiercely, guard it wisely, value it deeply. Because once you learn to protect your peace, you will never allow yourself to be broken the same way again. My dear friends, gratitude is not just an emotion. It is a lens, a way of seeing the world, a way of interpreting your life. And mentally strong people use this lens every single day. Not when life is perfect, not when everything is going smoothly, but even in the ordinary, even in the difficult, even in the moments when most people would complain. Because gratitude is not about having a perfect life. It is about learning to see the perfection that already exists within life. Most people move through their days with a mindset of scarcity. What I don't have, what I wish I had, what others have that I don't. This thinking slowly drains the joy out of their life. It blinds them to the blessings already around them. It makes them feel like they are always missing something, always lacking something. But mentally strong people think differently. They wake up and say, let me appreciate what is already here. They don't overlook the small things. The breath they take, the roof over their head, the food on their table, the people who care for them, the opportunities that still exist, the strength they carry within. And here is the secret. Gratitude doesn't make life perfect. It makes life enough. It makes life beautiful. It makes life peaceful. Let me share something with you. Two people can experience the same situation. One will complain, the other will be thankful. One will say, "Why is it so difficult?" The other will say, "I am grateful for the chance to grow." One will say, "I lost something." The other will say, "I learned something." The situation didn't change, the mindset did. That is the power of gratitude. Mentally strong people know that gratitude is not an occasional emotion. It is a discipline. They practice it intentionally. They write it, they speak it, they reflect on it. They remind themselves of it. They might start their mornings by listing 3 things they're grateful for. Not big things, small things. Because life is built on small things. A warm tea, a fresh morning breeze, a message from a loved one, a comfortable bed, a peaceful moment. When you begin to appreciate tiny blessings, suddenly life becomes richer. You see, gratitude does something extraordinary to the mind. It shifts your attention from what's wrong to what's right, from what's missing to what's present, from stress to calmness, from frustration to appreciation. And the mind goes where attention flows. So when you train your mind to see blessings, it becomes stronger, calmer, happier. It stops overreacting, it stops complaining, it stops comparing. Comparison vanishes, jealousy fades, fear reduces, stress dissolves. Because gratitude grounds you, it brings you back into the reality of how blessed you already are. My dear friends, let me tell you something profound. You cannot be truly grateful and truly miserable at the same time. One pushes the other away. And mentally strong people choose gratitude because they refuse to live in misery. They choose gratitude even when things fall apart, because even then, something remains, a lesson, a clarity, a direction, an inner strength. They know that gratitude is not about ignoring problems. It is about strengthening the mind enough to face them with peace and stability. When you practice gratitude daily, your heart becomes softer, your mind becomes clearer, and your life becomes richer. Regardless of how much you have materially, you begin to feel abundance even in ordinary moments. You begin to feel peace even in chaos. You begin to feel fulfilled even without perfection. And that is the difference between a grateful mind and an ungrateful one. One sees blessings everywhere, the other sees disappointment everywhere. My dear friends, gratitude is the foundation of mental strength. Without gratitude, every success will feel empty. With gratitude, even small achievements feel meaningful. So practice it, live it. Let it become the language of your heart. Let it become the habit that shapes your days. Let it become the strength that stabilizes your mind. Because when you choose gratitude, life stops feeling like a burden and starts feeling like a blessing. My dear friends, one of the greatest freedoms a human being can ever experience is the freedom from needing everyone's approval. Most people don't realize this, but a large part of their stress comes from this silent, exhausting desire to be liked, accepted, validated, appreciated by everyone around them. They smile to please others, even when their heart is tired. They say yes to avoid disappointing someone, even when their soul is screaming no. And they change themselves, not for growth, but for acceptance. But mentally strong people understand something very profound. The moment you start living for others' approval, you stop living your own life. Seeking validation is a never-ending race. No matter how fast you run, no matter how hard you try, the finish line keeps moving. Today someone praises you, tomorrow they criticize you, today they appreciate you, tomorrow they forget you. Today they say you are good. Tomorrow they say you are not enough. And if your happiness is tied to their words, then your happiness will always be fragile. Mentally strong people choose a different path. They don't chase acceptance. They choose authenticity. They don't change themselves to fit in. They remain true to who they are. They don't bend their values to match someone's mood. They stand firm in their truth. They understand one simple truth. People's opinions change. Your inner integrity shouldn't. Let me share a small thought with you. Even the most perfect person on this planet is criticized by someone. Even the kindest person is misunderstood. Even the most successful person is judged. So if people will talk anyway, why not live your life on your terms? Most people fear judgment, but mentally strong people fear something else. They fear losing themselves while trying to impress others. They protect their identity, their values, their dreams, their strengths. They know who they are, what they believe in, and where they want to go. And no temporary criticism can shake that foundation. You see, my friends, trying to please everyone is like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how carefully you hold it, it will slip away. People-pleasing drains your energy. It confuses your goals. It disconnects you from your own soul. You begin living a life built on expectations, not intentions. You start acting from fear, not from purpose. You become a reflection of others, not a reflection of yourself. Mentally strong people stop this pattern early. They don't allow the world to define their worth. They don't allow opinions to control their emotions. They don't allow praise or criticism to determine their path. When someone praises him, they smile, but they don't become inflated. When someone criticizes them, they listen, but they don't become broken. Their sense of worth comes from within, not from outside. They understand that the world will judge them no matter what. If they succeed, people will talk. If they fail, people will talk. If they stay silent, people will talk. If they speak up, people will talk. And so they choose the only sensible option. They live authentically, courageously, and unapologetically. This does not mean they become rude or egoistic. It means they choose truth over approval. It means they choose self-respect over acceptance. It means they choose purpose over popularity. My dear friends, one day you will realize the people who truly matter will accept you as you are, and the people don't accept you never mattered in the first place. Life becomes lighter when you stop performing for an audience. Life becomes peaceful when you stop proving and start being. Life becomes liberating when you stop trying to fit into everyone's expectations and start listening to your own heart. So, walk your path with confidence, stay true to your values, stand firm in your identity, do what aligns with your purpose, and let people think whatever they want, because they will anyway. When you stop chasing validation, you finally start living your own life. My dear friends, one of the most powerful truths mentally strong people understand is this: your circle is not just a group of people around you. Your circle is the environment that shapes your mind, your emotions, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. The people you allow close to your heart are like the soil in which your life grows. If the soil is fertile, you flourish. If the soil is toxic, you struggle no matter how hard you try. Most people don't realize how deeply their surroundings influence them. You become like the people you spend time with, not because you try to imitate them, but because human beings absorb energy, emotions, attitudes, and perspectives like sponges. If you sit with negative people long enough, you start to think negatively. If you stay around complainers, you start complaining. If you surround yourself with people who gossip, you start seeing the world through suspicion and judgment. Mentally strong people are very aware of this. They choose their circle intentionally, not emotionally. They choose relationships that uplift them, not drain them. They choose people who support growth, not people who sabotage it. They know that a peaceful mind cannot survive in a toxic environment. They know that a focused heart cannot survive in a chaotic crowd. They know that a purposeful life cannot survive around people who have no vision. So they become selective, not arrogant, just selective. They don't open every door. They don't give everyone access. They don't allow everyone to sit at their table. They don't allow everyone to speak into their soul. They understand that saying no to some people is actually saying yes to their own peace and future. Let me tell you something meaningful. You don't need a large circle. You need a true circle. You don't need hundreds of friends. You need a few people with pure hearts, clear intentions, and uplifting energy. Mentally strong people surround themselves with those who challenge them to grow, encourage them to rise, and remind them who they are when they forget. These people don't compete with them, they celebrate them. They don't envy them, they support them. They don't criticize them behind their back, they guide them face to face. They don't drain their energy, they nourish their spirit. And just as importantly, mentally strong people know when to walk away. They walk away from relationships built on manipulation. They walk away from people who only take but never give. They walk away from the ones who constantly create conflict. They walk away from those who dim their light, question their worth, or disturb their peace, not because they hold grudges, but because they value their mental health. You see, my friends, your life is too precious to waste it explaining, defending, or proving yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your dreams are too important to expose them to people who only know how to discourage. Your heart is too gentle to give it to people who don't want to cherish it. Your mind is too valuable to allow negativity to pollute it. Mentally strong people choose a circle that protects their growth. They understand that if you want to rise higher, you must surround yourself with those who push you upward, not those who keep pulling you backward. If you want peace, you must surround yourself with peaceful souls, not chaotic ones. If you want clarity, you must surround yourself with those who think clearly, not those lost in confusion. And here is the beautiful part. The moment you improve your circle, your life starts changing effortlessly. Your habits improve without force. Your motivation increases without pressure. Your mindset becomes positive without struggle. Your goals become clearer without confusion. Your heart feels lighter without explanation. Because the right people make you feel seen, supported, believed in, and the wrong people make you feel exhausted, insecure, and insufficient. My dear friends, never forget this truth. Your circle is your future. Your circle is your emotional home. Your circle is your silent influence. Choose it wisely, protect it wisely, respect it deeply, because when you surround yourself with the right people, your life naturally aligns with the right direction. My dear friends, one of the most powerful habits mentally strong people cultivate is the dedication to grow a little every day. Small daily improvements, tiny steps, subtle progress, because they understand that greatness is not built in a moment, it is built in consistent moments. They don't wait for a perfect day, a perfect plan, or a perfect opportunity. They create progress through discipline, not motivation, through consistency, not intensity, through small efforts performed daily, not big efforts performed occasionally. You see, most people dream big, but act small. They desire change, but they don't change their habits. They want transformation, but they don't transform their routines. They wait for inspiration, but mentally strong people know inspiration does not last, only discipline does. Let me tell you something simple yet life-changing. Small habits are not small. They are seeds, and when watered with consistency, they grow into forests of strength, confidence, clarity, and character. But people often underestimate the power of small habits because they don't see results immediately. If you meditate for one day, your mind won't become peaceful. If you exercise once, your body won't become strong. If you read one page, your knowledge won't transform. If you save a small amount, your wealth won't multiply overnight. So they give up because they want instant change. But mentally strong people understand that real change is not visible at first. It grows quietly beneath the surface. They know that tiny progress repeated daily becomes massive progress over time. A drop of water looks insignificant until it forms an ocean. One step looks small until it leads to a journey of 1,000 miles. One choice looks simple until it shapes your entire lifestyle. My dear friends, mentally strong people build their strength through daily disciplines. Not grand gestures, just small commitments. Reading a little every day, reflecting every evening, moving their body even for 10 minutes, choosing healthier food one meal at a time, practicing gratitude daily, organizing their space a little every morning, limiting distractions for a short focus session, speaking kindly, thinking mindfully, breathing deeply. These small habits create big shifts. They understand that if you improve yourself by just 1% each day, you become 37 times better in a year. 37 times. not because you worked harder, but because you worked consistently. Let me share something meaningful with you. There is a concept called the plateau of latent potential. This means that when you start building a new habit, it feels like nothing is changing. You work for weeks, maybe months, and still see no results. But beneath the surface, transformation is happening silently. Just like ice that remains solid at -1 degree Celsius, -2 degrees Celsius, -3 degrees Celsius. But the moment it reaches 0 degrees Celsius, it melts. The temperature didn't suddenly jump. It was rising slowly all along. That is how habits work. Your efforts accumulate quietly until one day, your life melts into a new shape. Mentally strong people trust this process. They don't quit in the silent phase. They don't stop when progress feels invisible. They don't break their discipline because results are slow. They know results are slow, but they also know slow is not weak. Slow is steady, slow is sustainable, slow is transformational. Most importantly, they understand that discipline is a form of self-respect. When they keep commitments to themselves, their self-confidence grows. When they show up daily, their identity becomes stronger. When they transform their habits, they transform their life. Every day becomes a chance to grow. Every morning becomes a new beginning. Every small effort becomes an investment in a stronger mind and a better life. And here's the B. Auti. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You just need to change one small thing today, and another tomorrow, and another after that. Tiny shifts in your routines create massive shifts in your destiny. My dear friends, mentally strong people don't wait for the perfect moment. They use the moment they have and make it perfect through consistent action. They don't aim for quick success. They aim for steady progress. They don't chase motivation. They build habits. Because they know that consistency beats intensity. Discipline beats inspiration. Small habits create big lives. And when you commit to small daily improvements, your future self will thank you more than you can imagine. My dear friends, one of the greatest strengths mentally strong people possess is the courage to let go, to release what no longer serves their peace, their purpose, or their progress. Letting go is not weakness, it is profound wisdom. It is understanding that holding on to the wrong things can weigh down your spirit more than carrying a heavy stone on your back. It is realizing that the mind needs space to grow. And sometimes that space is created not by adding more, but by removing what drains you. Most people struggle with letting go because they attach their identity to what they're holding. They hold on to past mistakes because they think it defines them. They hold on to relationships because they fear being alone. They hold on to anger because they believe it protects them. They hold on to guilt because they feel they deserve to suffer. They hold on to memories because they are afraid to move forward. But mentally strong people understand that holding on is often more painful than letting go. They know that life is like a river, always moving, always changing, always flowing. And if you try to cling to something that is meant to flow away, you don't stop the river. You only exhaust yourself. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean giving up. It does not mean that what happened was okay. It means you refuse to allow the past to control your present or poison your future. Mentally strong people make peace with the truth. You cannot grow while clinging to what breaks you. You cannot heal while holding on to what hurts you. You cannot move forward while your mind is tied to backwards. So they release what weighs heavily on their heart, one layer at a time. They let go of resentment because they understand that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. They let go of grudges because grudges lock the heart in a dark room where no light can enter. They let go of people who constantly disrespect them because loyalty to someone who harms your peace is not kindness, it is self-neglect. They let go of past failures because they know failure is a chapter, not the entire book. They let go of fear because fear keeps life small. They let go of overthinking because overthinking creates problems that don't even exist. They let go because holding on keeps them stuck in old stories. My dear friends, letting go is not easy. It requires emotional maturity, courage, and deep self-awareness. It requires you to look at your attachments and ask, Is this helping me grow, or is this holding me back? Is this making me stronger, or is it draining my spirit? Is this aligned with who I want to become? Mentally strong people answer these questions honestly. Even when the truth hurts, they choose peace over attachment. They choose growth over familiarity. They choose healing over history. And slowly, their life becomes lighter. The moment you let go of what is not meant for you, you make space for what is meant for you. Better relationships, better opportunities, better energy, better clarity, better direction, better versions of yourself. You see, life has a beautiful way of rewarding those who release what they were never meant to carry. When you let go of the wrong people, the right people arrive. When you let go of limiting beliefs, self-confidence grows. When you let go of past pain, inner peace blossoms. When you let go of fear, freedom enters. When you let go of doubt, miracles become possible. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning of something new. It is the unlocking of a door you never dared to open. It is the first breath after a long suffocation. It is the healing your soul has been waiting for, my dear friends. Don't be afraid to release what burdens you. Don't be afraid to walk away from what no longer aligns with your heart. Don't be afraid to outgrow people, places, or versions of yourself that were meant only for a chapter, not for the entire journey. Letting go is liberation. It is strength. It is clarity. It is growth. It is freedom and mentally strong. People understand one thing very deeply. Life becomes lighter the moment you stop carrying what was never yours to hold. There is a mysterious strength inside people who remain grateful even when the world gives them every reason not to be. Mentally strong people have mastered the art of shifting their focus from what is missing to what is still present, from what life took away to what life still allows them to enjoy. They don't deny pain, they don't pretend everything is perfect. They simply refuse to hand over their peace to temporary circumstances. When something goes wrong, and it always does, they pause and ask themselves, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of drowning in helplessness, they anchor themselves in appreciation. They know that gratitude is not only for the days when everything flows smoothly. Real gratitude is reserved for the stormy days, the confusing days, the days when you feel life is unfair and still whisper, thank you for another chance to grow. They understand a beautiful truth. Life doesn't become easier when you practice gratitude. You become stronger, your heart becomes steadier, your mind becomes clearer. You begin noticing small blessings you used to overlook, the breath you just took, the meal you ate, the person who smiled at you, the ability to hope again. You start valuing things that money can't buy: kindness, connection, patience, love, forgiveness. Strong people remember that gratitude is not emotion, it is a decision. It is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is not dependent on circumstances, it is dependent on awareness. Even in their worst days, they find one reason, just one, to stay grounded. Maybe it's a lesson, maybe it's a person, maybe it's the fact that they survived something they thought would break them. That little spark of gratitude becomes their shield. Many people say, how can I be grateful when everything is going wrong? But mentally strong people reverse the question, how can everything go right if I'm never grateful? And suddenly, their perspective changes. They learn that gratitude is not what you feel after life improves. Gratitude is what improves life. It turns chaos into clarity. It turns frustration into acceptance. It turns ordinary days into miracles. They live with a knowing smile, almost as if they carry a secret. And the secret is this: gratitude doesn't change your past, but it massively transforms your present, and it beautifully shapes your future. It gives you emotional stamina. It creates space in your heart where peace can live. It helps you rise above the noise, the negativity, the comparison, and the doubts that try to steal your joy. And most importantly, gratitude reminds them that no matter how dark the night seems, the sunrise is already on its way. They trust that the universe, God, destiny, whatever one believes in, never closes a chapter without writing a better one ahead. Gratitude becomes their bridge of faith. So choose gratitude not because life is perfect, but because you are strong enough to appreciate the imperfect journey. That single mindset makes you unshakable, unstoppable, and deeply fulfilled.